Who out there could use a little bit of more income? Need a little more income each month? It's very easy. If you want more income, you need to be providing more value. Let me give you a couple of examples. Are you a W-2 earner? Do you work for someone? At the end of the year, do you get a W-2? If you do, remember previously I talked about there's only two things that your employer understands: how to make me more money or how to save me more money. So if you are not making the kind of income that you'd like to earn at work, you need to change your focus. You need to find out how you can become more valuable to your employer by doing one, two, or both of those things. Show them how they can increase their income, which means providing more sales or whatever it is, what kind of product or service that your company provides, or how to save them more money. You need to be tracking that, so instead of at the end of the year, when you get that end of year review, you have some data to back up your value to your employer. What if you're at the top of your game? What if you're already at the top? There's always room for improvement. You need to be constantly learning new skill sets. Some of y'all have stopped learning, and you're going to be obsolete before too very long. You need to increase your skill sets. Honestly, look around, find out what your interests are. If you're at work, find out what other skill sets that you could use that you could become more valuable to your boss. Now, what if you have proved your value and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you have earned more income and your boss refuses, or for whatever reason they don't give you the income that you think you deserve? Now let me go back just a little bit. Some of y'all think you may be making 15-20 bucks an hour and your boss is charging $100 an hour for whatever widget it is or whatever, and you may not think that's fair. But one of the things I need to share with you as a business owner, your employer needs to make about 3.5 times your salary just to make a decent profit. Notice I said decent profit. I don't mean a crazy profit. That's just kind of a general rule of thumb. When someone has employees, you need to be bringing that kind of value. What if you're not directly tied to the sales model? For example, you might be a receptionist, a secretary, you might work in marketing, then you need to look and see what the return on your investment is. How much money are you bringing in that company? But remember, if they've got a lot of employees, they have to cover all of that overhead. So it takes a lot of money to process payroll each and every week. So your employer may not be the dirtbag that you think he is. He just may be an astute business person. Maybe, maybe not. If the answer is they're not, and they're not willing to budge and give you what you think that you can show on paper that you rightfully deserve, then it's time we start looking at some different areas. You need to start looking for a different employer, someone who will pay you what you're worth. And I don't mean going in there overconfident or anything like that. I'm just saying you need to know your worth. And most employees, I'm sorry, but you don't. You just don't. You don't track anything. You're stealing time from your employer. You're in there playing on the internet, talking on your phone, texting all day long, doing all of those things. Everything but producing for your employer. And you justify that by saying that they're not paying you enough. Well, if you keep on producing at that level, your employer's not going to be able to afford to pay you anymore. So that's a vicious cycle, and it's really not a good work ethic. So I would implore you to stop doing that, because I know you all do it. I hear the stories all the time. I see people all the time. Even in Walmart, I go through and they're playing on their phone instead of working. Now, what if you are self-employed? What if you're a business owner? What can you do? You need to be providing more value to your customers. It's a whole lot easier and less expensive to keep a customer than to try and attain a new one. So one of the things that you need to consider is you need to really get down to the nitty-gritty and find out who your dream target market customer is, your avatar. Get down deep. And then you need to go after only those. You need to figure out what your lane is and become an expert in that lane only. You can add lanes later, but become an expert in your niche market, and then find out everything that there is to know about that target market and see how you can provide more products and services to serve them at the highest level. Remember previously I talked about how on the customers, you've got the freeple people, those people who want everything for free, and then you have the cheaple people, those who have a little money but they always want things at the cheapest price, and then you have the freeple people. Those people are willing to pay a premium for their products and services because they value high quality products and services. If you're self-employed, you need to figure out which lane you want to work in, and you need to just go deep. And then going a little bit further on that, if you're not making enough sales, you need to look at a couple of things. Your lead generation technique, your lead generations. That's number one. You need more leads coming in. You need to check your lead source to see if they are quality leads. Many of you are using lead generation techniques, but you are not attracting your avatar, your niche market. You're attracting junk. People that A, don't want your product or service, B, can't afford your product or service, 3, that they're not willing to pay you for your service. So you need to look at your lead generation techniques. Next, you need to look at how you were able to process those leads and turn them into a sale. Perhaps you're weak in that area. Perhaps you don't have your funnels and different things set up so that you are, you've got to qualify that lead to make sure that they fit and that they are willing and able to pay you for your service. And then you need to be able to transfer that into a sale, and that might be an issue. Next, you need to service that individual. And y'all, you can't make everybody happy all the time. You're going to have issues. I've got issues. Everybody who's ever been in business, they've got issues. And the main thing is providing excellent customer service as best you know how, but remembering that you're never going to make 100% of the people happy, ever, ever. Now, for those of you who maybe are a W-2 employer but are not self-employed, and you're looking for other ways to increase your income, think about hobbies that you might have. Think about where your interest lies and start a side hustle. It doesn't have to be forever. If you're wanting to increase your income to pay off debt, start an investment account, whatever that is, you need to just look around. And many of you think your pride is going to get in the way. I don't know how many people on the Dave Ramsey Baby Steppers, they have stooped so low, y'all, that they deliver pizzas. And I say that tongue in cheek. They're not prideful. They have found out a way that they can work around their schedule outside their job and make extra income and throw that at their debt. Remember, it does not have to be forever, whatever it is. But during COVID, many of you found out that you had some skill sets that were valuable in the marketplace, and you might not have wanted to return back to your job. Or some of you realized that when you had to work from home, how much time you were saving on your commute, how much more time you had to spend with your family. You wasn't spending all that money on going out and on your clothes and all of that stuff, and you found out a lot what that does to your budget. So anyways, just wanted to drop on here today to talk to you a little bit about income, because so many of you think that is your problem, and for some of you it might be, but for the most part, when I'm working with folks, your income is not the problem. Can you guess what the problem is? I've said it probably 100 of times over the last 30, 60, 90 days. Your spending plan is your problem. It's not you have an income problem. You have a debt problem. You have a spending problem. You're not telling your money where to go. You're not giving your money a job. You know in your head what you want out of life and how, you would like to live and the lifestyle and all of those things, but you're not putting your money in a position so that it can provide you with that lifestyle. So again, this is Nancy Gaskins, sowing seeds of financial hope and entrepreneurial opportunity in communities around the globe. I hope that you go to work with a new fervor this week and you start looking for ways that you can make your employer more money, save your employer more money. Because when you steal from your employer, all that does is drive up the cost of goods and services, and that just increases what? Our inflationary issue that we have here in the United States. So y'all have a fabulous day. Be sure and drop anything in the comments if you've got a topic that you would like for me to cover.